Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to the show. Because I'm doing well, because I'm having a wonderful day on this 8th November 25. Just had a very emotional TikTok live, so now we're in a good mood. That was a freaking mess and a half. Okay, so doing well. Let's play some Fortnite. We have some TikTok battles in the background. I gotta do some clips today. We're behind schedule, but at the same time, hey, we're sort of good. So how you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. And we're eating because my mom made me, and I love my mom, but she made me some spaghetti and it was doing great. So, let's do the OG. We have an event today. The event was actually pretty nice. Pretty nice. We have Omer. We have another one. Oh. I'm gonna do some Christmas stuff. Yeah, very emotional. Very emotional. It was kind of sad. Where's the... I'm trying to find something for Christmas, right? So yeah, so just in my feels today. Which is why we are watching... What is it? Gruff? Part of the Winterfest. Winter. Tomorrow we have some snow. There you go, perfect. I forgot to write something. Shit. Shit. I'm so sorry, guys. Forget about all of this.
Parce que si je voudrais du sexe, là, toutes les femmes qui m'ont fait des avances, là, ça ferait longtemps que je m'aurais vu des couilles, ok?
Okay, that's weird. That's a weird flex. Okay. So that's good. So what I have to do is on Discord.
Jake, il me parle encore de moto, ça fait 8 numéros de téléphone qui se fait. Il me parle juste de moto, le gars.
Okay, so let's go to the tower. Let's go to ticket system. Contact support. Rollback. Your name. So it's gonna be the same thing, right? Inc. Vendetta. Email address. Gonna be Inc. 99. Game the tower. Game version. I don't know what the game version is. 27.1.4. Okay. Part 4 located. I don't know. I don't know what the rollback is. I don't know where the rollback is. Should be pretty simple though. Yeah, it's been a while. Okay. So this is gonna be a bit more complex. 331. Okay. Okay. I'll do by 4. 99. FA7. Okay. 14 October 14, 2025. Today is the 8th November. Okay, so let's do the same as them. October, November 8th, 2025 at 10:43 p.m. PST. Description: Hi, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. Second ticket was helped before. However, the link sent to restart my to restore, link sent to restart or to change my password was invalid. Please help. I love your game. So we have to add file from the device. It'll be photos. Gonna be another photos. Okay, last one. I want to show a bill. That way they know I spent money. And I'll spend money again, but I won't. So they'll be more generous with that. Okay, good. And now I gotta text my girl because...
Well, first of all, stop apologizing because you're always able to talk to me about anything.
So today we'll do some normal.
Preface that anything I say to this is just like a 2 cents, and I don't really know like the full story, so I can't really like give you, you know, I can never tell you what to do. I can never fully understand the situation or what's going on in your head. So like it's totally understandable that you're like kind of all over the place and you don't know really like how to react, because it's like it's a really complicated situation,
right?
Like, you know,
I love her.
Any relationship with somebody, like, you know, you meet a person, that's a relationship, and when it gets complicated, like everything gets complicated. I can understand where both of them are coming from in that situation. I think
No way, you found.
You know, it could be a little confusing for T and for Anna as well. You know, based on what you told me, I can't say that I think that Anna is, like, healthy, like, or someone you can fully rely on kind of thing. I can understand where both of them are coming from in that situation. I think, you know, it could be a little confusing for T and for Anna as well. You know, based on what you told me, I can't say that I think that Anna is, like, healthy, like, or someone you can fully rely on kind of thing. But that's not to say that she deserves any of, like, the hate or any of that, especially, definitely not. And she also, like, doesn't deserve a shutout, right? Like, I mean, I'm not, well, I think you need to be a little bit more selfish, just because, I think a lot of like the okay, hold on.
Oh, you give such good advice.
Come off as like
You give such a good advice, and I know that you're here to help. I understand that, but as I'm dealing with stuff. If I mean, you know, I know that I can rely on you and you can rely on me, but I don't want you to. It's per example, right? I feel like any single relationship, it's so good when you're constantly able to help each other, right? But in a sense where, hey, you're going through stuff, it's my turn to help. And not because it's a payback, but because it's cool to be there for the person that's there for you, more than the person that's not there for you. For Anna, I totally agree. And for being selfish, I 100% agree. It's just so hard because I know how it feels to need help and not have help. So with Anna, do I rely on Anna? Absolutely not. However, when she comes to me and she's like, hey, I'm fucking depressed, I have a harder time, and this is kind of why I blocked her. I blocked her. I blocked her everywhere because I was like, "Fuck that, dude. You're kind of being selfish because you don't care about my feeling. You care about your feelings yourself, right?" And with T, with T, it's a complex situation because T, she's trying to do well, but it looks bad because you're way too aggressive. So there's me that's way too passive, right? Which I can admit. I should be, like you said, more. I think selfish is the perfect word because, again, T has my back. But there's such a world between me being passive or too passive and T being super aggressive, right? At the same time, I'm not a person that's like. I don't think blocking Anna was the right thing to do because I didn't even tell her, hey. I never told her like, hey, you're really hurting my feelings. Hey, it kind of sucks when you're pretending like you like me. You should get that attention. And then, like, I'm gonna take you as an example. Right? I meet you and it goes well, and I'm like, yo, this girl is fucking awesome, right? The girl is fucking awesome, and definitely there's something there, like the chemistry. And on my part, there's a little bit of romance, of course, and I do like you a lot. But at the same time, I feel so shitty because I'm like, dude, how can you focus on Carly when your life is so busy, right? I had a girl, you don't know her. Well, I don't think you know her. Like, and this is why I get in such a mood, right? I have this girl who, about like 2 weeks ago, she calls me and she's crying. Like, it's 3 a.m. So I'm trying to make it feel better. Then the next day we're talking, and then she ghosts me, and I'm like, I'm tired of people like that are using me, but this is, at the same time, is like you said, the selfish part is hard because they're using you because you allowed them to use you.
Because you deserve that stability with anybody. Oh my God. You deserve that stability with anybody that you allow into your life. And the fact that, like, this is, like, stressing you out so much is just, like, telling enough, you know? Like, it might be unhealthy or whatever. But I totally understand the mod thing. I was just reaching out because I wasn't sure if it was, like, a situation you were comfortable with, but honestly, as long as you're comfortable and you're okay, like, that's all that matters. I wasn't like I was only wondering because you told me to like mute her if she was in. So I was like a little confused, but like I totally understand the situation now.
I love that your dogs are kind of agreeing with you, and it's amazing how emotionally intelligent you are. Not that you're not intelligent, but I think emotionally speaking, you're a fucking nerd, which I say with a lot of love. And yes, for the situation for the mods, I think you can understand that it's not so much that I want to, I feel like I need to. Because, and again, it's being like, I don't know if you know the term empath, but you put yourself in other people's shoes. Would I like to be in the position where people are hating me on live because of my relationship with one person in the chat? No. Like, I'm a small content creator, right? But imagine, right? There's 20 people in a live. You think that everybody is getting along? You think everybody likes each other? No. So as a content creator, you have to stay unbiased, right? And I think a lot of those problems are stemming from the fact that Ink and Steph are two different person, right? Hank is more active and more proactive. Ink also cannot block people because I look like a... I don't think it's looking like an asshole that bothered me. That's feeling like an asshole, right? Steph, I cut people out of my life and like, hey, it didn't work, right? It's not a big deal. And that you don't have to see me. You know that after a breakup, you do it no contact? With Steph, I can't do that. With Ink, I can't do that because... Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, make decisions for yourself, and like, it's okay. Like, like I think you just need to honestly. I know I keep saying it, but you honestly need to be selfish, Ink. Like, and it's not even. It's okay. I keep saying selfish, but it's not even being selfish. It's genuinely just looking out for yourself. Like in both like T, your relationship with T and your relationship with Anna, like, it's clear that there's hurt coming from both sides, and the fact that, you know, Anna's kind of coming to you and telling you that her feelings were hurt, like, I totally understand why you would feel really bad, but then again, like, you're not the one, like, you're not really at fault, you know, like, you're not the one.
I know, that's exactly what I said. I said, like, why are you mad at me? I didn't do shit. But then at the same time, like, and don't feel bad about using the word selfish. Like, we're always talking about putting ourselves first because it's something that we both have problem with, right? Which is, I think, is coming from being so kind. You're a really kind person, and that's something I really like about you, right? But I think, and it's also a position where T is not Snow White, right? She's done some fucked up shit. Like, she gonna mute people, and then she's literally telling me, like, hey, either we block her or you're never gonna see me again. And I'm like, you're putting me in a situation where I'm not comfortable. And first of all, and second of all, this is my life. So if I want to allow people to talk to, it's also a question of fairness, right? If I'm allowing, let's say, an example, right? There's somebody in my life that's pro-life, and they're having discourse of pro-life, and then there's a person that says, hey, well, what if it's a result of rape, right? Should you allow the kid to live or not? And then you're like, yeah, but the kid didn't choose for the mom to get raped, right? It's a horrible situation, of course, but the kid isn't responsible for the horrible situation. It's a happy result of something horrible, right? The kid has nothing to do with that. So the fact that you're sacrificing the kid because it's traumatic doesn't end well. And at the same time, you're like, there's so many parents that are shitty parents. Does that mean that their kid doesn't deserve to live? It's complex, you know? So you're trying to be non-biased, but then you're seeing the point of both people, right?
Kind of, like, you know, T's kind of the one who was initiating that kind of, you know, that like, kind of cut off. So, and I totally understand where she's coming from, but, you know, that is hurtful, but you don't have to try and appease Anna for that all the time, you know, just because it's not your fault. Like, none of that is your fault. None of it was really controllable, and like, in your mind's a mess, of course, so it's totally okay to feel like how you feel. Like, you're totally valid for feeling like that, and I wish there was a way I could help.
You're helping me more than you think. Trust me. You're being amazing, and I totally agree with what you're saying. It wasn't my fault, but at the same time, it's my home. You know, if my kid throws a drink in your face, well, I don't know. It's my kids. I should have raised them better. But you're right, and I'm trying to make excuses for behavior, but I don't think it's coming from the fact that it's Anna. I think it's coming from the fact that it's a human being. I think we all make mistakes, right? But at the same time, T is absolutely right in the way that she wanted to protect me. However, it's still my household, and you still have to ask the boss, right? For example, I'm gonna take your example because I think it's a perfect example. Like your boss, your boss, I because when you told me about the customer berating you, I was like, what the fuck? And then at first I was pissed off at the customer, but then I was like, well, what about our co-worker, right? Because I know that you would be defending them. You would be defending them. And I'm like, dude, it's kind of suck that she would defend people, but they wouldn't defend her, right? I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I fully understand where you're coming from. And, I think the biggest thing, like I feel like I'm really trying not to, I don't want to step on your toes or like anybody's toes, and I don't want to, because I know like how you're feeling, because I've been in that situation like many times, but people who are like reaching out when they're at their lowest, or who are like searching for your sympathy or your, like, they're like, I say this with, like, take this with a grain of salt, because like I said, I don't know this girl personally, so I really can't say anything about her as a person. Besides from what you told me, but based off what I've heard, like, there is like manipulation like happening, and like I obviously don't want to see that from you, because you, like, I'm also an empath. I always put myself in other people's shoes, and when you put yourself in other people's shoes, sometimes that like can just drain yourself as well, you know, because at what point do you step out of their shoes and kind of like get back in?
She's fucking right, dude. She's fucking right.
You need to balance your own like issues with other people's. When people are reaching out to you and they're not doing well, right? Like, you know, you said some girl called you crying at like 3 a.m. You need to remember that you have every single right in the world to not give that person, like, your everything, right? You're not obligated, you're not expected to drop everything, and I know that because you're such a, you know, you go the extra mile for anybody. I know that you have that urge to, but that's even just taking a slight step back and just telling people, like, I'm so sorry you're going through this. You know, like, give, like, you know, as people, the least we can do is offer support or offer professional help, you know, and I know that's kind of like a disconnect with people, but in that situation, like, there's genuinely you're putting so much on yourself.
I am so amazed with you, like, the fact that you're able to actually, like, understand completely. And to me, it's insane, like, just how much you get a situation. And, like, honestly, I'm not trying to be mean, but I didn't know that you were gonna be able to help so much, right? And just to connect to so much, right? I feel like it's something that needs to be done, like disconnect and taking a step back, because you can always do everything for others, but at the same time, I don't. One of my other problem is there's no middle. Like, for example, my dad today, my dad was super nice to me. He was like, "Hey, we're going to Costco. You want something? I know that you're not doing well. I know that you're not doing well. Do you want something?" I was just like, no, I want to continue making content. You're not allowing me to do that, right? At the same time, it wasn't fair for me to tell him, because I was trying to be nice, and I just pushed him back. My problem, I feel like often, I don't know if you're that way too, But I feel like I take on so much, and then I get mad, and I get pissy at the wrong people, and then I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk. I don't want to fucking talk, you know. And the person that didn't do nothing to you. Like, for example, today I had to block somebody because they were being weird. They were being weird, like really, really weird, like saying yo 4 or 5 times. And it's kind of a complex situation because they start acting weird when T blocked them. Well, T mute them and I unmute them. So they start acting really weird, like coming in with multiple accounts, coming in and saying yo, and talking about like, hey, I don't know. You're like, what do you mean I don't know? And I had to block them, and it hurts because that person was in my life for like a year, and I didn't want to block them. But if they're gonna be acting weird and making everybody else uncomfortable, you know, it's complex.
And like it's really not healthy. Like you carry so much burden. I know you already have so much burden in your personal life that like taking on those kind of burdens is just like so hard, you know. But I mean, once again, I totally understand like where it's coming from because I feel you. Like we are literally the same person. And even like coming from T, like there's manipulation there as well, you know, threatening anything over a person, including like not like, you know, an ultimatum. That's a manipulation tactic, and that like should stay out of friendships. Like none of this should be happening in any of your relationships. It's not healthy, and it's not something that you should put up with, like at all. And I think you need to really remember that, like, you know, it should not be, like, the normal thing.
Wow.
Like, what was I gonna say? Like, it might come to a point where you should, like, maybe would have to take both of them off mods, or maybe just, T, if it's coming to that point, you know, like, when it's a situation where it's hard to control, you know, if she's going crazy, like, muting people and getting really upset like that, like, at some point, like, it is your life. Like, all of this is your life. You worked your ass off for all of this. Like, you genuinely, like, you deserve everything you have. You deserve all the fan base you have. You know, you do everything for everyone. So you have complete control of, like, who you allow in your circle, who you allow to make those decisions, who you allow to, you know, have that kind of power even in your lives. And
you're absolutely, like, so fucking right. It's insane. And again, the fact that you're talking about this so matter of facto in a way where it makes sense, but also as a way where your understanding of my position is amazing. I think the hard part is setting up boundaries, right? Setting up boundaries, and the fact where you're like, dude, this is going too far, first of all. But at the same time, can you blame a person? Something that I have a lot of problem with is, because we're the same way. We're talking about being empath, right? We're talking about the same thing. So there's time where people hurt you, and your mindset is, I don't even know if they understand that they're hurting me. I don't even understand if they're understanding that what they're doing isn't okay. So I'm not going to blame you. You're not going to blame a kid for pushing his brother because he's a fucking kid, right? I don't know. And what really, because I did it live today, and the live I was emotional. What really hurts me is I did mention you because I was like, dude, the amount of people that can count on, I got like 2 or 3, right? And you're one of them. And I'm like, it's not normal that a girl that I met 2 weeks ago is more trustworthy of my emotion and more, I feel I have more in my bag than people I've been friends with for years. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
definitely, yeah. See, like I'm saying, we are unfortunate. I mean, in the best aspects and the worst aspects of ourselves, we are the same person because we give so much to so many people. You put in so much effort with so many people, and you are giving and giving and giving, and you are getting less than half back. That is never fair. That is never right. Nobody has the right to treat you like that. And it has to come to a point where you kind of need to make the decision of like, okay, like, would this person do the same for me? Kind of thing.
Oh my god, you're so fucking right. You're so fucking right. And the craziest thing is when you, and I know this is not fair because I know that I'm playing favorites, but when you told me that you had a fight with your best friend, I was like, no. Ain't no way Mike Harley did something wrong. Like, something is going on here. And I felt the exact same way about your best friend. I'm like, did she my opinion was like, maybe she didn't need Carly as much as she thought she did, and it's like, okay, well, fuck Carly, I don't need her, right? And then you let that person, the second they need you, they'll be back, right? And for the people, and I love what you said about you putting so much work and not getting half back. I another story, right? I have a friend, right? And he's been doing pretty bad lately. And we started talking a lot because he needed me, right? And he wanted to do a pet streak. Now, honestly speaking, I'm not gonna be homophobic, but I think it's a little gay, right? With a girl, I think it's cute. With a guy, I'm like, dude, I don't know, right? With a guy, I'm like, dude, I don't know, right? And today, so he made the pet streak yesterday, right? And we were talking a lot yesterday because he was needing of me, right? He had a family problem. Again, a younger person, right? He had problem because his father is not respecting of his decision to be I don't know how to say, guys say it. It's like I think it's a contortionist or something like that. And his father was like not respecting of that, and I'm like, dude, if it makes you happy, and even as a hobby, your father should support you, right? And if he doesn't support you, well, too bad, right? And then today he was like, okay, well, you give me advice, and this is kind of crazy, but he literally canceled the pet streak. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This was your idea. I wasn't even down for having a pet streak. So I accept, but you canceled it. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Instead of feeling like you owe them something for being here, right? Like, these are people who are choosing to be with you, and because of that, like, you have the right to treat them with the same, like hold them to the same accountability that you would hold any regular human being, right? You don't have to, like, protect people's feelings more because they're, giving to your community. These are still people, and they know what they're doing. They know their actions. So I feel like maybe it would help to kind of just remind yourself of that. I'm not saying you don't see people as people. I really hope that's not how this come off. I know you see everybody, and that's the issue, is you see everybody like as so much more than that. It's not an issue. Okay. I feel like I'm really butchering my words here, but it's kind of like you might feel like you owe them a lot more than what you actually do, and like, you, because of it, you're letting people, I wouldn't say walk over you, but there is, a little bit of manipulation that, like, I'm hearing, and you're giving out all of your empathy, and you're putting in so much effort for people. And, like, that guy you had to block, like, yeah, like, you and him had a whole year, relationship. That's amazing. Like, he, like, was with your community for a whole year. That's a big thing. But at the same time, he's still...
You're not butchering your word. You're speaking from the heart, not from the brain, and I'm thankful for that. And it's sort of amazing. But you also have to understand, like, for example, right? And again, this is not a complaint, but for example, right? When you go to school, you have people in your class that you like, people in your class that you don't like. But when and this is so complex because, again, it's kind of victimization, but at the same time, I don't think it is. let's say that in your class is somebody that you don't like. You say, well, I have to deal with them because we're in the same class, right? You're working with people that you don't like. You say, well, I have to put up with them because we're at the same job, right? So you're in a position where you're literally doing that, but then at the same time, I'm my own boss. Like, I don't make money from the content creation yet, but I say I'm like, at work, I don't have to deal with that shit. So you don't have the pressure of obligated relationship or friendship, you know. And yes, and at the same time, you were talking about the guy that I had to block today. The guy that I blocked today, one thing that hurts me the most is you were talking about manipulation, right? But I also see, and this is more so for the content creation part than the normal part, but I see a lot of people that are using, like, they're literally like, oh fuck, the message stop. I was saying, like, I don't think you're butchering your word. I think you're talking from the heart, and I'm super grateful for that. And you're right about the people and not allowing them in my space. But at the same time, it's so weird because you go to school, right? And there's a girl in your class that you don't like, so you're like, okay, well, fuck her, but I have to stay chill with her because we're sharing this obligated relationship. There's a coworker that you don't like. You have to be nice to them because they're just obligated relationship. I'm my own boss when I make content, right? When I make content, I'm my own boss. And I'm allowing those people to step in, right? And also what really, really hurts is the fact that I often see people, like on social media, especially, because I have a big following, right? And again, I'm super grateful for it. But, like, it's not complex. What you do is... Oh my god. Oh my god, this is bad. It stopped again. I don't know what I said in the last one. Oh, fuck. The message stopped. I was saying, like... Yeah, so you see people kind of using you, and you're like, you're aware of it. You're aware of the fact that they're using you, and your answer is like, well, and like, for example, I don't know. Today, okay, so it wasn't today, but today, like, I kind of realized this. There's this guy, right? When there's comments, I do a shout out. So people comment more, so they get shout outs, but I get more engagement because I get comments, right? So it's a give and give. And I get this guy, right, and I was really nice to this guy. Like, he wrote a couple of comments, and I always answer him. And one of them was asking for a shout-out. And I was like, well, I'm not going to give you a shout-out because I'm not going to give shout-out, but I'm going to give the people the knowledge that your content is kind of good. So this shout-out in itself, right? So then the guy comes, and I'm like, yo, what's up? And then we're talking, and we're going well. And I'm like, and I didn't recognize his name, right? Because he's changed his name. So I was like, hey, do I follow you? And he's like, yeah. I'm the one that commented on your videos a lot. And then the guy follows me because he didn't follow me before. So I'm like, dude, I was so fucking nice to you. And people don't give a shit. It's so weird. How does it compute? How does your brain work? How does your fucking brain work to see a nice person, they're nice to you, and your answer is, well, thank you for the kindness, I'm not going to repay it, you know? And it's not always being nice to have this recognition, or, hey, you were nice to me, I'm going to be nice to you. It's just a simple fact of, this person is a good person versus this person is not a great person. Like, we're talking about T before. T is not a good person. T is just a shitty human being. She's mean to so many people, but she's nice to me, so... I'm not gonna reproach her to be mean, no, but at the same time, you're understanding of who they are, who this person is.
And when you notice yourself feeling like that, that's when you need to, like, honestly just take a step back and be like, okay, whoa, like, before I go, like, you know, like, when you have so much emotion because of that, like, you're bound to lash out on people who don't deserve it. And good people will stick around because the best people will understand what you're going through, but you also need to communicate that, you know?
Right.
But, like, you know, like, that's when you need to take a step back and be like, who are the people who are making me feel like this? Like, is it worth it? Like, is all of that worth it? Like, is that anger, like, that's not who you are. Like, I know who you are. I know we've barely known each other for a while, but...
No, I think we connect a lot. I think because we're so similar, we know each other more than we think because it's like I'm looking at the mirror, right? And I agree with you, but sometimes it's so hard because when you're talking to these people and you're helping those people, your first thoughts like, hey, I'm being nice to this person, right? They're probably super grateful, right? And the worst thing I was talking about the girl that called me. I'm like saying, oh my god, thank you so much. Thank you so much, but the next day you ghost me. And I don't care about this person, I just care about the fact that the way you're treating people. It's fucked up. And at the same time, I know that you go through this often. And that's why this discussion is so refreshing because there's a lot of people, I can tell, I can literally tell, like, that's why I'm going to be completely honest, okay? So this, please don't be mad. When we met each other, you were gifting a lot of the people in my life, right? And I was telling you, like, don't stop gifting. The reason is, yes, I don't want people to take advantage of your kindness, but I know that some people are wolf, right? How can I be such a good person, so kind, but my level be 0 on TikTok because I see the corrupted side of it. I know that you don't mix friendship and money. Like, for example, like Lynn, she was pissed at me because I didn't go to her live, right? And then she's like, well, Carly is coming more than you are. And I'm like, are you sharing to Carly? Maybe she feels, I didn't say it, of course. When I'm like, what if she felt obligated to be there? I don't feel obligated because... Oh my god, it's complex. I don't feel obligated because, again, I have this excuse where I'm working, right? And you have to put yourself first. And this is also the weird thing. When you're working, you put yourself first. Like, currently, right now, I'm streaming. I'm streaming to no one, so no one is hearing this. But I'm still streaming, you know? And yes, I should have told you that before. Whoops. But I'm literally streaming, and it's a shame because, you know, like, I don't know if I wasn't streaming, if, like, I would be, I don't know, not as open to talk about it, but at the same time, I'm like, dude, she's there for you. Like, her advice are fucking amazing. Amazing. And your advice are amazing because, again, you have such a level of intelligence and maturity. Like, yes, you're super, there's like an age gap, right? But at the same time, I feel like you're truly a master of your own, like, life. Like, you're driving, I know that you drive poorly, but you're still driving, go to school, you work, like, you work a lot. And I can tell that in your life you do a lot of sacrifices. So, that's, of course, that's worth it. Of course, that is something that you have to take into consideration, right? Okay, so this is enter.
But, like, you have to, like, remind yourself, and if not, let me remind you, like, there are so many good people who will find you, and, like, genuinely give that back to you. Like, there are people out there, you don't have to,
I know. And these people that are nice to me, I always feel bad because I'm like, dude, you don't need to be nice to me. You don't actually need, I'm good. Like, I know that I feel bad when people are nice to me because I'm like, dude, I don't, like, not that I don't deserve it, but like, if, for example, you have this, I think it's called empath, but you have this kid next to you who's starving. And people are saying, yeah, he's a bum. He's been asking for food a lot. We don't feed him because it's bad habits, but here's an apple. I'm like, no, give it to the kid. He's hungry. I'm not hungry. But at the same time, you were nice. And it's so weird because, like, we're talking about this, right? Talking about kindness. But when you're working, right? When you're working, you're never going to have this idea of, you know what? I don't need my pay. Give it to somebody else. Which is weird because emotionally speaking, you're working. There's such a dystopia when it comes to emotions because I don't think in the realms of fact, in the realms of perception, perceived reality. I am feeling good. However, why am I feeling good? It's because my brain is releasing chemicals that make me feel good, right? However, my brain doesn't take those chemicals from nowhere. We're producing it, you know?
have to, like, keep putting into these relationships that are like physically draining you. I know you're a good person. I know you're not the kind of person who lashes out on somebody. So when you notice yourself literally like changing, or reacting in a way that isn't suited to like who you actually are, like you can't let people break you down to that point, because that's like the point of no return. That's when you start losing friendships, is when you start losing like your genuine like relationships. So you need to look at the ones that are gonna actually benefit you and be there for you when you're at your lowest. The best people will never leave. The best people will never leave you ink, no matter what you're going through. And I know you will have many people who will never do that to you. And the fact that it's happened to you is so sad and so like upsetting, genuinely. But like you have to like remind yourself, and if not, let me remind you, like there are so many good people who will find you, and like genuinely give that back to you. Like there are people out there, you don't have to like keep putting into these relationships that are like physically draining you.
You're the best, dude.
Well, thank you. I know I seem like I have my life together, but I think a lot of emotional intelligence comes from
pain.
Like all my emotion, I don't even know what I'm saying, like all of my emotional intelligence comes from learning from my mistakes, and learning from, like, I take everything as a lesson. Okay, I just lost my best friend of like 7 years, and the way I'm looking at it is I'm looking like I know who to choose in my future. Okay, like there's a lot of lessons I learned from that, but I won't get into it. But every single thing, you know, there's been stuff in the past that's happened to me, and I take all of that as a lesson, and you gotta grow from it. Okay, like you cannot keep yourself in an endless like loop where you just keep bringing the same people in and letting them make the same mistakes, letting them hurt you over and over and over and over and over again. Like that is like, you're gonna get don't be mad. This is like not like a diss on you, because everybody does this. But you're gonna get the exact same lesson, unfortunately, until you learn from it.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
Like this girl's gonna treat you the same way until you like admit you've had enough, or hopefully it doesn't reach a breaking point. But everybody has a breaking point, right? And I think you need to like stop it before it gets to that point. And kind of like, I don't know, I'm struggling with what I want to say. And also, you don't have to look at every single person, like, helping you as you need to repay them back. Okay, like, right now, I'm helping you as best as I can because I want to. Because I've been through very similar situations, and I learned from them. And if I can, like, help you in any way, or help you kind of, like, make the best choice for yourself, I want to do that, because I would really hate to see my friends go through anything similar to that. So, like, don't feel like every single person helping you, I know I'm saying this, but, like, I know how hard it is to actually do it. But But
I love that you're talking about this, and I know how hard it is to you, because this must feel like, yo, I've been in the same situation, I go through the same thing, and I have to get those lessons from the hard thing. I love what you said. I learned these mistakes by mistakes, and I'm like, dude, I know that you're going through a lot, and that's why you're able to gain from it. And I think that you're able to, like, get a lesson from something happening to you is kind of fucking amazing, because it is hard to, like, okay, well, I just got hurt, okay? So I'm learning from it. I think the easiest thing to do, and I think a lot of people do it, myself included, is something bad happen, you just distance yourself from it. You're like, okay, well, fuck that. I'm not gonna think about it, right? And there's this general feeling of today I feel shitty, tomorrow I feel better. So all you have to do is survive through the day, and like the next day you're gonna be good. But it doesn't stop that these people hurt you, right? There's the honest thing to do, and you're absolutely right. You have to learn from mistakes and saying like, hey, those people are hurting you. Like that friendship, that best friend for 7 years. Like my, and again, I'm sorry because my first thought was, and I think it's normal though, but my first thought is when you delete the videos, I'm like, what the fuck did I make you feel uncomfortable because I said that you were really pretty and shit like that, right? But I never took in consideration that, hey, maybe they had a fight. Maybe they're not friends, and that's why she deleted the videos, you know? And that's hard because as a person like yourself who doesn't share that much, to be having those moments or those videos meant something to you, right? And to having to delete them because the relationship is, or the video is a relationship, is a reminder of the relationship that is not anymore, you know? But yeah, and you don't worry about getting into it. Like I want to be able to understand what happened, but I also want to be able to say, hey, like, because you're saying that you're learning from mistakes, but I feel like if this is a mistake, then maybe we can both learn from it, right? I'm saying like if this, you always say like learn from a mistake, but if that's a mistake, maybe we can both learn from it. Like a relationship of 7 years, like, and I get that people change, but at the same time, like change doesn't happen like, oh my god, out of nowhere, right? I feel like people go into direction. Like for example, this person is, well, you know what? I'm going vegan. They're not gonna say, hey, I'm going vegan, and the fact that you're eating meat right now, or you're eating cheese or eggs, is really, really bothering me. They'll come up to you and say, you know what? Can you please make an effort, shit like that? And then when you say that, when they see that you don't care, they'll let you go. And even then, it's a question of, am I letting you go for the right reason, right? Because I do feel like this relationship that you had for 7 years, I do feel like, for some reason, I don't know why, I'm getting the impression that it's kind of sudden, right? And I feel like this is worst. But I'm gonna let you go because I'm super grateful for that, and I love you because you're helping me out. But I do feel bad because I am streaming, and this is kind of like a private conversation, and I don't want this special moment between us to be just about, hey, I'm streaming, so this is a good moment to talk, right? I know that I'm often busy, but again, you deserve to have this privacy. You deserve to have this second or this moment of, we're sharing something, just the two of us, right? And the goal wasn't to stream it at the same time, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm going to be talking to her for like a while, and I'm already streaming, so why not, you know? But yeah, so I don't feel comfortable with this being on the open because, like, I know how much it takes out of you. And I know that you're not somebody, you don't mind sharing, but you're not a person that's going to scream on the roof. Your emotion, so I don't want to put you in a position where you feel like you have to.
I really don't owe anybody anything. Like, if there's a person in your life who's helping you...
Reality is, I wanted to hear the battle, fuck.
As a pay forward, or, oh, I help you, you help me, that's like, they're not there to help you, they're there to help themselves. And those aren't real friends, those aren't people who are gonna stick by your side, those aren't people who are genuinely looking out for you. So, I don't know, take that with a grain of salt, I don't know. And the whole thing you were talking about with, like, the classroom, you know, there's a girl that you don't like, but you have to, like, I feel that on a severe level. Okay, I'm in law school, and I'm in politics, and I have very, very, very strong morals. I have very strong political views, and I love speaking about it, okay? Any chance I can get, I will speak about it. And in those classes, there are always people who will disagree. There's always people who, like, want to argue the other side of it, and that's, like, the best thing. However, it can get infuriating. But like you said, like, I have to be kind to those people. Not kind, but I have to be able to work with those people because that's such a big part of law, right? Like,
yeah, I totally get that, and I love that you're outspoken about your politics views, but also your values, and I love what you just said. Like, you have to have common courtesy. Common courtesy isn't "I like you," is okay. Well, you know, this is kind of the way humans treat each other since the dawn of time. You know, I'm not gonna open the door for you, but if you could avoid slamming it in my face, I would be grateful. And I get that because there's time when people are gonna be arguing just to argue, and like, dude, you're not even listening. You just want to argue. And I feel like at the same time, it's people like that, right? And it's so complex because there is people, however, in your life and in my life that are sporadically there, right? And it's weird because you're like, you show up once every couple of months, and you're so kind. But so it's weird to put a value on the relationship. And yes, I love that you like to talk, because you're like, holy shit, this is my views and they matter to me, so I'm gonna let you guys know. But at the same time, I don't feel like you're a person that, how can I say this? I don't feel like you're a person that's necessarily say, hey, either you're with me or not. I feel like this is exactly what we're talking about. I feel like in an argument, you're understanding or appreciative of other people's opinion, even though you might not share them, or even though you're not on the same page as them. The simple fact that they're also sharing with you, the simple fact that they're opening up about their own point of view, right? And especially with law, like with law, I'm like awestruck with you, because I'm like, she's gonna have to deal with fucking assholes, people that are guilty, you know, people that are guilty. It takes a lot out of it. And I don't know if personally I would be able to do that. Be like, okay, well, you're fucking rapists. But so you're a fucking rapist, but you're how can I, it doesn't make any sense, but you're a fucking rapist. I know that you were put in jail for rape. You didn't do it this time. I know that you did it before, you know, so you're like, holy shit, this is kinda tough. And also, do you have an easy time to read people? Because I feel like a lot of time my relationship or my friendship issues and my problem, like you're thinking about like, hey, this is meaningful to me, but it doesn't not meaningful to them, right?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Well, just final things to say, like, we'll definitely talk more when it's more private, but yeah, just stop letting people walk all over you. Remember what you're worth, and like, take everything as a lesson. Like, genuinely, like, try and learn from everything. Just think about why. Like, I don't believe in God, but I think there's something. Me personally, I don't know what it is. Some sort of something. Whether it's just the universe, and it's putting these people in your life, and it's giving you these things to overcome so that you can, like, grow as a person.
I find you so fascinating, because I also don't believe in God. I think there's something out there, but I don't think that person or that being needs me to say, oh my God, his name is Jesus. Oh my God, his name is Allah. I don't think he cares if I notice that he exists or not. I think he cares if I'm a nice person, and if there's a version of heaven, like, hey, you know what, this guy kind of made it, right? And it's kind of crazy because I'm also not super religious. And what you're saying is, I have a friend who's Muslim, right? He's talking about this, and in the Quran, they talk about how everything in your life is a test, right? So I don't know if you know that show, but it's a really good show. It's called The Good Place, right? So basically, you start as a baby and you start as a zero, right? So then every single time that you have a test, you can either have a good response or a bad response, a good reaction or a bad reaction, right? And you lose this point, and definitely people are set in your ways, right? Like you look at your role model, be your parents. Your parents, it wasn't easy for them. I don't know if for example, you told me that your dad was Italian. I don't know if you're a first generation immigrant. But immigrating to another country is hard, you know? Yeah. Especially if you're Italian, because there was a lot of Italian-American hate. And in Canada, we have this tendency to do the same thing, right? the second that your father is doing well, people are gonna say, "Oh, yo, is it the mafia?" And it's kind of super weird because you're dealing with this, and it's not even based. Like for example, you being a good person, it's not even based on what you did. It's based on you. Like, oh, she's a good person, I can use her, and I just find it so shitty. But at the same time.
And I really hope that you have a great night. And I work at 5 a.m., so I should probably head to bed. But have fun streaming. Don't stay up too late. And yeah, just remember your worth. Remember your worth, and hashtag putting ourselves first.
Hashtag yes, queen. Well, I didn't know that you were waking up at 5. Now I feel extremely bad. I'll sleep okay though, because, you know, I don't work at 5 like someone I know. Must suck to be them, right? But at the same time, you don't know how grateful I am that we had this talk. You don't know how much this means to me. I'm definitely gonna be going offline and re-listening to that, because I think there's nuggets of knowledge, but with the amount of time we talked today, I think it's a fucking gold mine instead of just little nuggets, right? Fucking McNuggets, go with the Big Mac, right? And the fact that you're not only understanding, and I think why this conversation was so nice, because it's coming from you, and I care about you a lot, you know. But it's also the fact that we're similar people, and I know that it's not coming from a place of I learned, it's coming from a place of I've been through it, and for me that's more meaningful, you know.
Or if I could get there, I'd really love to go into human rights law, which would protect like everybody's rights as a human, and we definitely need some help in that department. That's what I want to do. That's the reason I'm in law, and I'm not some slimy lawyer who's defending. But yeah, I am really passionate about.
Oh my god, you're breaking my heart. I wanted to be married to Slippy Jimmy so badly. Now you're gonna be one of the good lawyers? Fuck.
About it, so I could yap about it, but I'm not going to. But yeah, I'm a very passive person, and I'm not confrontational, and I, you know, in a lot of aspects of my life. However, when it comes to my political views, I will always stand up for what I believe in. I will always stand up for my friends and for my morals and all that stuff, which is why I love it.
You're fucking making me tear up. This is such a beautiful speech. Wow. This feels like a law movie. Like a law movie at the end, and you know that the lawyer, she's doing a good job. I love that, and I love that. I love that, and I kind of like not necessarily guessed it, but yeah, it's obvious that you're not a professional person, but you're there for your friends. You don't care about how people treat you, but you care about how people treat your friends. Yeah, like for example, when we're talking about Anna, you're like, "I'll fight." Like, wait, what? Her fight? But I believed it, you know.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You know who Slippin' Jimmy is? It's from Breaking Bad. It's one of the dirtiest fucking lawyers.
Also, I think it's impossible to read people. But I think everybody, when they're trying to read people, they take their own personal experiences and they apply it to the person as best they can. Like, right? Like, I see myself in you. I see you making a lot of the same choices and decisions that I made as well, which is why I can be like, also, I think it's impossible to read people, but I think everybody, when they're trying to read people, they take their own personal experiences and they apply it to the person as best they can. Like, right, like, I see myself in you. I see you making a lot of the same choices and decisions that I made as well, which is why I can be like, at least for me, this didn't work out well, right? And so that's how I read people, but I feel like it's like impossible.
Fuck.
Also, I think it's impossible to read people. But I think everybody, when they're trying to read people, they take their own personal experiences and they apply it to the person as best they can. Like, right? Like, I see myself in you.
It doesn't stop shutting down.
I see you making a lot of the same choices.
I want to see the fucking battles.
Well, which is why I can be like, at least for me, this didn't work out well, right? And so that's how I read people. But I feel like it's like you never really know what's going on inside of somebody's head. Like, you never know.
Once again, absolutely right. You're trying to figure out what they're thinking about, like, especially when they turn on you and you're like, they're a piece of shit, and you're like, what the? How can you think about that? But I'm being serious now. I'm gonna have to be a bit authoritative. Go to bed. I know that you're working tomorrow, and listen, we have the entire life to talk about. You're not getting rid of me. Don't worry. But I am sincerely grateful, Carly, today. I needed this, and I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to go to get that help, because I needed the help today. And you were a absolutely supportive queen. May the ground you walked on be blessed by countless pedestrian. And it's kind of cool because even though this was more about my problem, I feel like I got to know you a little bit better. And I feel like you're a wonderful person to get to know. Yeah, thanks for letting me in. Thanks for letting me in your life and in your psyche. Listen, again, I'm going to repeat myself, but everything that you said today, to a certain degree, I either agreed with or it made me think. So, I definitely think that you have a future as a human rights activist or in the law, right? Because I do think that you have a lot of knowledge on that, and it's nice to see you being so sure, but also so passionate about what you're doing. And ultimately speaking, like, you helped out a guy that was not twice your age, but not far from twice your age. Like, if I was 2 years older, I would be twice your fucking age. No, 4 years older, I would be twice your fucking age. So I understand. I don't think you get how impressive that is.
And of course, I had to bring out my motivational speech there, but I genuinely mean it. And like, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I know who Super Jimmy is. I watched Breaking Bad, but I'm sorry to disappoint. That's and of course, I had to bring out my motivational speech there, but I genuinely mean it. And like,
I love your speech.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
No, I love your speech. I love how passionate you are. And it's kind of insane that we can get this emotional and this deep of a talk, and then at the same time, it doesn't feel like much because we're so comfortable with each other. But yeah, this was a huge step for me and for you. So shout out, Queen. What the fudge? Also, I feel like I have been able to do a lot of growth, emotionally speaking, today. So I'm gonna ask for a reward. Can I play a little bit of bongos on your booty? On your booty? Your booty? Your buta? I don't know how you English people say it. Fuck. Because it looks mighty. I don't know, the sonorization out of it sounds good. Sounds like your coordinates. Sounds like it's been calibrated to have the optimal sound, you know? I have a great night. If you don't know where to go, I'm always here. Always, and I appreciate you. We always have a fun time streaming, and you know, if you need to go back and give chat a lesson, like I said, you deserve, man. It's about time to you. Amen, Carly. Good night. Thank you so much for today. Sorry for the lots. If you don't want to take this, sorry, but you'll take it because I said so. and genuinely, I am gonna be hoping that you also re-listen to your message, because I think you're able to help your damn self as well, because that was freaking knowledge in a bottle of tequila. Good night, Carly. Sleep tight. Don't let the bug bite, but I might. Nice. Mushroom. Flip it up. We just had a good talk. That was impressive. That was so needed. So needing. She's amazing, guys. I'm super lucky to have people in my life that are as cool. You know? Oh, there's a death. There's a death. Yen. I missed some of the battles, which I'm not used to. This is a bit weird for me. But hey, priorities, guys. Priorities.